Okay, hello and welcome to my bedroom. I'm gonna get my heated blanket on and get cozy while other people are in my house or watching football. I got this for my birthday. It's like a little kit to make this keychain and it comes with everything you need. So I thought it would be fun to challenge myself to crochet this. The only thing I'm nervous about is the hook because I'm used to a really fat crochet hook handle, but it requires a 2mm crochet hook and I don't have any other 2mm, so I kind of have to use the one they give you. So let's see. I'm gonna listen to my Legends and Lattes audiobook and I will let you know how far I get on this. Okay, I'm already questioning if I should follow the pattern or just do it the way I want to do it. The pattern doesn't want to do like a continuous round. The pattern wants you to join and like slip stitch to join and chain one. I should probably just follow the pattern as is. It's okay because it is just for a fun challenge. It's just going to be hard to get used to joining in the round and then chaining to do the next round. It'll be okay. Let's try it. Okay, so the pattern tells you to place the eyes based on the reference photo, which kind of bugs me, to be honest. I wish they were more specific, but on the reference photo it looks like this would be like the nose and you put the two eyes on the side. There's also black and pink thread to do little mouths and cheeks, but I'm going to do those at the very end when I'm done with all three of the peas. Just to make sure I have enough yarn to get it all done. So let me put the eyes on and finish this one up. Same with the stuffing. I need to make sure I divide the stuffing into 3 equal parts because I'm going to assume that they don't give me as much as I would like to stuff things. I'm a firm stuffer. Giggity. So I'll have to divide this up. But this one is over halfway done. I have to put the eyes on and then start decreasing and stuff it. So okay, so I realized they did not give you any scissors, which is fine. That's very normal. So I'm using these tiny little baby scissors that I have next to my bed, and they're actually meant for like little baby fingernails. But yeah, I just finished the first little pea. I'm just gonna tuck this last little string in if I can. My fingers really hurt, to be honest, from working on this. I'm not used to doing such tiny things with such a tiny hook. And surprisingly, they did give me enough fluff. Like this was I had allotted 3 separate piles and I still have all this left over that wouldn't fit in here. So little baby pea is done. Let me see if I know how long that took. So based on how much I listened to of my book, it took about 45 to 50 minutes just to get this first one done. I think it's just because it's so tiny and I have to count and watch my stitches and getting the eyes in right. It was hard to get the eyes in because the stitches are so tight. Stuffing it took a lot because it's so tiny. So, but it's very, very cute. I'm very excited to get it done. I think I'm going to stop for today. That was a good hour grind. And I'll go back out to the fam and hang out, get the kids ready for bed, all of that good stuff. maybe I'll dedicate some more time to it tomorrow and try to get another one done. Okay, I'll keep you posted.
2,000 years later.
Okay to have anger, much like R2's cool penguin. It's okay to have anger. Okay, so I don't know what past me had to say about this pattern. I don't remember, and I don't want to go back and watch it right now. But this pattern's pretty trash. I'm just gonna say it. As far as like the peas themselves, it doesn't really explain like how that they want you to sew it up. It's intuitive to me because I've been doing this for a long time. Also, the way that they tell you to slip stitch to join and then crochet into the next stitch kind of drives me crazy. Okay, so I think when I made the very first pea long ago in those videos, I did it where I would slip stitch to join and then my first single crochet would be right where I slip stitched. I don't even know if you'll be able to pick up this difference on camera, but this is where I joined the whole way. That's why I don't like doing slip stitch to join whenever it comes to like amigurumi or 3D plushies. But what the pattern actually says is to slip stitch to join, chain one, single crochet in the next stitch. So whenever I realized that for the next two, that's what I did. And so Now you can see the difference. This one's like spiraling this way. This one's more in a line, but you see that bump there sticking out. So that bothers me. I don't like that it's has this like spiraling line. It's like, what is the point of doing a slip stitch to join then if you're telling us to crochet into the next stitch? And then basically what that means is at the end of the round you end up crocheting into your slip stitch to join. I don't know, it's weird. I've never done that before. And they're telling you to do the same thing for the pea pod. They're saying double crochet into the next stitch, which means my last double crochet is going to end right here where we slip stitch to join. And I don't know if I like that, but I'm just following what the pattern says. Also, what's really trash is that when it comes to this pea shell, I crocheted down both sides of the chain. So, but that's not what the pattern says to do actually. I almost wonder if this was like AI made. I think I might try to like reverse Google image search this and see where someone got it. And then look into it some more. Because it literally just says chain 26 from the third chain. It actually says form the third chain, not from. It's a typo. I'm not lying. I can show you. Form right there. Form the third chain on the hook. Double crochet increase in next stitch, which doesn't make sense either. I just double crocheted into the third stitch, into the third chain, sorry. Then it tells you double crochet in the next 22 stitches. Okay, so far so good. Double crochet increase in the next stitch. All right, now we're at 24 stitches. That's all we have, right, on the chain? Nope. Double crochet in the next 22 stitches. Any like semi-new crocheter that really hasn't like looked into this yet, you're gonna be like, what? There aren't 22 more stitches. You told me to chain 26, but we're skipping the first two, so we only have 24 stitches to crochet into, sir. What do you mean? Like, it doesn't explain that to anybody. And I didn't even start learning about crocheting down the both sides of a chain until a few years into my crocheting. When I had to start crocheting, whenever I started learning how to crochet booby tops from Passionate Kelsey, is when I learned to crochet down like both sides of the chain, and it blew my little mind. So I think it's bizarre. They also just say to fasten off, leaving a long tail for sewing. The end. No instructions on how to sew up the pod at the end. No instructions on how to attach the keychain. It's crazy. So I'm gonna finish it, but I don't recommend this kit for anybody that is even remotely a beginner. Honestly, especially if you're new to pattern reading, no way. There's no way you'll make it. I'm torn if I want to do it the way the pattern says or just do it the way I want to do it. I guess I'll do it the way the pattern says, but it doesn't make any sense. I'm going to do it the way that I like to do it and double crochet into the stitch where we slip stitched. I'm not doing it into the next one. It'll make my whole pod spiral. It's not going to work. Okay. What did it say? Double increase into the next. Okay. Also, I don't want the person that bought me this to feel bad. Not your fault. Super cute. Love the idea. Love that I got a project to do. Honestly, it's the perfect gift. Like, I'm being so serious right now. I am just simply being candid about how the pattern is trash. So that other beginners do not buy it thinking they will be a master crocheter by the end, or thinking they will even know how to understand what the pattern is asking. So I hope that helps. I might actually take a break and search this up right now. I feel like I did that in the beginning and now I don't remember, so Editor Jerry may cut all of this because maybe I already searched it and told you about it in the beginning of this. I'm not sure. I don't remember because I started it so long ago. I will say that I really like this yarn. It's nice, soft yarn. Wish I could tell you what it was made of. It might tell me in here. It just says yarn. I'm assuming it's acrylic, but it is nice and soft. But I do like it. And they definitely give you plenty of yarn. I have a lot left over. They give you plenty of stuffing, tons of stuffing left over. And I am a firm stuffer. That sounds wrong, but definitely plenty of stuffing. And then I will say this hook is fine. I've had hooks like this before. It's not groundbreaking, but it's fine. It's really tiny, but it's fine. The little plastic yellow needle that they give you is trash. I bent it so many times trying to use it just for the sake of the video. By the third pea pod that I made, I just used my regular metal sewing hook or sewing needle. Darning needle? I don't know words anymore. And when it comes to sewing up the pea pod and like doing their facial expressions, I plan on using my metal one because that plastic one was just too flimsy. But otherwise, all of the supplies have been perfectly fine. I don't have a hook, like, I don't have this style hook and this size anyways, so I would have had to have figured something out. I probably would have had to use one of those, like, really weird, like, metal ones that I have, but even then, I don't know if they went down small enough, to be honest. It's a 2mm hook. This is probably the smallest I've ever crocheted in my life. I don't think I've ever crocheted with anything smaller than like a 3.5 or a 3.75mm hook. And I will say crocheting this small and trying to make it tight since it's amigurumi has made my fingers hurt a lot. Like this finger started getting dry and like cracked. I don't even think you'll be able to tell on camera. But my middle finger started getting dry and cracked from like holding back here and like constantly scratching it with this hook and sliding across this yarn. Because I'm just like trying to make sure it's tight and even. The only other downside, and I don't think it's really the company's fault that made the package, but with a hook this small and yarn this big, my yarn splits a lot, and I have to like go back and make sure I grab all of it and pull through. So it makes me go kind of slow, which also drives me crazy, but it is what it is. When I get to this part, what are my next steps? Let me see. Okay, we are done. We just have to fasten off for sewing, apparently. I did use Google Lens to reverse image search the like the front of the packaging, which came in this. I saved it. It is from Hobby Lobby. I think I do remember looking that up before now that I did it. And then what's funny is while I was looking to see where the pattern was from, I actually saw Reddit stories of people complaining about the pattern. So, I'm not the only one. That felt pretty good. One of the biggest ones was what I was saying before, that it doesn't actually explain that you're crocheting around both sides of the chain. And some beginner-ish crocheters were very confused. So, I'm glad I felt validated in my thoughts about that. But you can see you get a lot of yarn left over. And it's not, I don't think it's quite worsted weight. It's probably a DK weight. So I'm not sure what I'll do with that, but I'll figure it out. Now that the pod is done, I literally went and I counted all the chains, all the stitches that I could see right here. It looks like there's about 25 stitches on each side visible. So I'll probably just like whip stitch up the rest. But first I have to finalize the little peas. And I have to attach the keychain. Honestly, I might end up just sewing the little faces onto the peas tomorrow. I am pretty tired, so I might put their cheeks and their smiles on tomorrow. I don't know if my fingers can handle it tonight. I think I might just sew up my pod. as I take a huge yawn. I think I might, yeah, I think I might just finalize it tomorrow. I'm worried that if I start sewing, I'll just get frustrated, but it's okay. We'll finish it up super quick tomorrow compared to trying to get it all done right now. Let's see if I can get at least like a vibe check for you. Oh, it's going to be a tight squeeze to get them all in there and sew it up. Weird. Okay, so this is kind of the vibe. Of course, they'll have cute little faces, and then there'll be a keychain attached. So cute. Okay. Let's head to bed, because I am so very tired. You know, I bet I could just remake this in, like, burlap blanket or even velvet yarn, and it would be really cute. And I could make some little modifications that I would do differently, and it might even end up being a little bit cuter. Maybe we'll do that next. Maybe we'll see how big it turns out, because this is actually really tiny. That would be fun though, to see what it looks like in this. Yeah, I think we should do that tomorrow. Okay, let's come back tomorrow to finish this up. I think it'll be tomorrow. Next time. See you next time to finish this up in a few seconds for you. Okay. Okay, so the next day I sewed everything up, finished it up. Here's the little keychain. Here's the little peas in the pod. All the peas come out. So there you go. Like I said last night, I started making it out of the plushy yarn. So here's my first pea. Oh, I made the first pea. This is how I would make it, not following the pattern.
Oh, Jesus.
I'll let you know when the whole pot is done. I think this is going to be too big to make it into a keychain, but I'll let you know when the whole peas in the pot are done. So this is something else I just realized that's not in the pattern while I'm working on doing it myself the way that I normally do it. The pattern doesn't explain right side and wrong side, which is terrible. I don't even realize anymore that I automatically turn my project to the right side when I'm crocheting, because it's like second nature to me. But since the pattern didn't describe that, if I would have just followed the pattern, I would have closed the pea up like this with this wrong side being out. So another flaw. You really have to kind of know what you're doing to be successful at that pattern, and I feel like if you are already a well established crocheter to be able to figure all of those things out intuitively, you don't need that pattern. You could just do this yourself. Like, it's just making 3 balls and then making this pod. It's nothing like groundbreaking, so it's kind of silly. I would be upset if I would buy this as a new crocheter. I remember my sister learning to crochet with some Woobles kits, and she made like the Woobles bee, and she had asked me about that. She was like, I don't understand why halfway through crocheting the bee I had to turn it inside out. And in my head I was like, oh, why would you turn it inside out? But I automatically already do that without even thinking. But for beginners, they're gonna crochet this way, what I like to call around the inside of the bowl. But now that I know what is what, I crochet around the outside of the bowl, just intuitively. So yeah, someone like my sister who's done like a Woobles kit, she probably would get really confused looking at this pattern. No shade to my sister. She is a smart, intelligent, independent lady. It's just this pattern is so not written for any sort of beginner. Yeah. This thing is just ginormous. What is happening? Okay, I'm gonna cut quite a long tail so that I can try to meet these in the middle and tie them, I think. But as I was crocheting it, I was like, good lord, this is huge. But you know what, these 3Ps need room to live, right? So it's kind of perfect size. Definitely not making a keychain out of this. It's really funny to me. This pattern looks way better in this yarn. Me personally, I think I like this better. I do have to put cheeks and little smiles on my peas, but I'm gonna sew this up first and then I'll do that, and then we'll be done with this vlog. We will be done with this vlog. Okay. And tomorrow for me is Easter Sunday, so I have to find a project to work on while I'm at my cousin's house. Probably a blanket. Okay, let's sew this up. Next time you see me, I will be showing you the finished product. We're gonna put cheeks, smiles on, sew this up. Alrighty, here we go. Boom. This is really cute. I'm glad I made this. I should make this more for markets. I could probably come up with a much tinier version that'll go much faster, but still made with like nice plushy yarn. Here is the original. Wait, I have to get all their little faces facing the right way. My daughter was playing with them. There we go. Here's the keychain versus our version. Let's see if we can get like a little cute thumbnail. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope you love it. I'll probably upload both of these to my website. I'm not even sure what to charge for them, to be honest, but...
Mama, we need to take a picture.
Okay, one second.
Okay.
I will put these up on my website for you to buy. I hope you love them. These all come out of their little pea pod. And we will see you in the next vlog. Overall, I don't think this is good for the money that you spend. I mean, I guess if you're a seasoned crocheter and you just want something that comes with everything that you need, I don't know. I can't see why you would purchase this, but at the same time it was only like $4. But also it's from Hobby Lobby and I don't support Hobby Lobby. I would never buy this, but it was a gift to me for Christmas. So I say 0 stars personally. It's just me personally. If you would, hang on one second.
Okay.
If you would like a really good peas in a pod, I lost my train of thought now. If you would like a really cute peas in a pod crochet pattern, one of my favorites, Crochet Me Zaddy, has a giant veggie bundle, itty bitty veggie bundle, and you'd be able to make them into little keychains. And in that veggie bundle, he has 2 peas in a pod. I would recommend that. I'll even put it in the description for you because I love it so much. I love his little veggies. I make his itty bitty veggies for all of my markets. So I will see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye, bye, bye.